Pace truck is off. Ben Rhodes and Austin Hill on the front row. When they take the green, there will be 7 to go at Daytona.
Great start by Hill there. Rhodes wasn't able to get a break on him. Now it's going to be up to Greenfield to push Hill out ahead of Rhodes. And just think, Gustine's truck's tore all to pieces. Can he provide the type of push that Greenfield can?
He's got the 88 of Matt Crafton behind him. Try to keep that truck pushed up to the 99 of Rhodes.
Greenfield taking a look on the outside.
Oh,
and
no!
now a little contact, and he's not going to be able to hang on to it. And he takes Peters with him. Greenfield got out of line, took a little peek, and then
See if you can get it rolling here. All good. See if you can
lost
get
the
it
handle on it.
I think if they can get these trucks fired, might have a chance to keep rolling.
There he goes.
Timothy Peters, he knows that.
I don't think there's a lot of damage. You see a little bit to the left front fender there. Left front tire's flat, a little damage to the right front corner as well. That looks minor compared to Gus Dean's truck.
Hey, the Friends of Jacqueline. We'll get to that here in a moment. Let's go to Hermie on the 52.
Yeah, as soon as that caution came out, Trip Bruce said we got a left front tire flat coming to pit road, so good call to get him in without making another lap. Potentially that tire coming apart and causing more damage to the 52. So good break for these guys coming in to get 4 tires.
Yeah, he's been caught out 3 wide a few times, Hermie. You can't say Stuart Friesen hasn't given it 100%. He goes where there aren't. Sometimes tonight, that just hasn't worked.
And those 4 fresh tires may give him a little more maneuverability here when we go back racing. We're not going to have a whole bunch of laps left.
Timothy Peters was so hopeful for a good run tonight, for the opportunity to bring awareness to his sponsor. There you see on the hood of the truck, Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, which provides support to children with brain tumors. And it is a group that does just tremendous support work for pediatric patients, and Timothy was very hopeful for his performance tonight, for an opportunity to bring a little bit of recognition to this great organization.
Yeah, I was talking to truck owner Alan Neese today, and Timothy will be in that truck again next week at Atlanta, as well as our 3rd race of this season in Las Vegas. So great to have Timothy back here in the series with Neese Motorsports.
And what a great cause on the side of that truck. So many of these teams go above and beyond for benefiting those that are in need, and it's another great example of it.
Well, check it out. The 68 of Greenfield and the 44 Peters right behind him.
Greenfield tries to make it 3 wide. He went high. When that closed, he decided to go back low, but Timothy Peters had already filled that hole. Bill, we're inside 10 to go. You can't leave holes open, and it was just a case where Greenfield left a door open. Timmy went through the door, and it was too late for Greenfield to throw the block.
I tell you, I think there's even less damage on that 68 truck of Greenfield. Let's take a look at it. It's going to be a great view from here. He goes up the 16 blocks. Then he said, okay, I'm going to get back behind the 16. But Timothy has already stuck his nose in the center, which is what he's supposed to do, and try to shove the 68 to the outside and get him out of the draft. And unfortunately, they make that contact.
And again, Crafton narrowly missed that incident.
That's a broken record.
Yeah, you know what Crafton's thinking? I don't know how I'm going to pass these guys unless they all just crash.
And he keeps moving up as each crash occurs.
And that's exactly what just happened. Now he finds himself up in 4th. He's going to restart on the outside of the 2nd row as a pusher.
Wow.
And what a good truck he's going to be behind, too. Austin Hill's up there. Ben Rhodes, neither one of those trucks have any damage, nor does Crafton. That could be the key, Phil. He could push Rhodes to the win.
Remember now, that's as far away from the spotters as we can be over there in the backstretch. So a lot of times it's hard for those spotters to tell. You can see if somebody's beside you, but it's hard to tell which lane they're in.
It's amazing that Greenfield doesn't have more damage. I mean, you look at the truck from that angle,
isn't
it's
it,
pretty clean.
I'm sure these spotters are talking about the restart. I said he could push Rhodes to the win. Crafton's 4th, excuse me. Rhodes is 1st, but they're teammates.
Green is out.
Who's the better truck in the 2nd row? That may dictate who gets the lead. Look how much of a gap behind the 16 of Austin Hill.
No question about where the advantage came for Ben Rhodes. It came from his teammate and the pusher there, Matt Crafton.
Austin Hill's fighting back now. Ben Rhodes has a little bit of momentum now. He's got Joe Nemechek behind him, pushing him.
Crafton's got to be careful not to lock bumpers with his teammate. NASCAR will black flag them. We've already seen it tonight. But those trucks are clear. They can go to the bottom.
Spencer Boyd trying to get to the bottom too. Wasn't quite enough room. Austin Hill closed the hole up.
Austin Hill into the third spot now.
He said, no, no, no. Look at Crafton. He's going to make the move on the outside.
Crafton leaving his teammate. 2 laps left. Austin Hill now pushing Ben Rhodes.
Crafton's going to need some help. The 20 of Spencer Boyd pulls in behind Crafton. Is it a little, too late?
Wow, Crafton goes from 2nd to 7th and continuing to fall.
He can't get the momentum back. Matt Crafton needs a lot of help here.
Oh, Austin Hill getting into Ben Rhodes.
How
And now
about Gus Dean
coming around the outside. Contact, and Dean is going to take out Rhodes. And Crafton gets through again somehow, and so many more involved in this incident.
What about Matt Crafton's move? Look at that truck.
Look at the damage on those other 2 trucks right beside. Austin Hill was able to do a great job. Got down on the apron and got through that.
The track record 10th caution of the night, and Sheldon Creed this time is going to be finished for the night.
You were right, Michael. It wasn't 3 or 4 laps to go.
No, there just wasn't any way. These guys know what's the reward is, a victory at Daytona, and they just push and shove so aggressively. There's just no way you can make it when you drive like that. Matt Crafton's mistake, or I wouldn't call it a mistake, the chance he took to grab the lead on the front straightaway allowed him to miss this big wreck on the back straightaway.
TJ, you're phenomenal. I don't care what happened here tonight. You're the man. You got us up front. I appreciate all the hard work, guys.
Ben Rhodes was in position, but it will not be his night in victory lane at Daytona. TJ Majors, who he was referring to as spotter, longtime spotter for Dale Jr.
They had so much success together. Dale Jr. just loved TJ, and you could hear Ben Rhodes saying thank you and how much he appreciated the moves that TJ helped him make here tonight.
Gus Dean took a hard hit as well and is being deliberate in getting out from his truck, but at least climbing out, good to see, under his own power.
Great to have LG on board for that truck. Allowed him to be full-time here with Tyler Young.
Let's see what happened. There was a move here by Austin Hill to get to the bottom. Rhodes blocked it, and that just stacked him up behind, Phil.
Yep.
You could see Sheldon Creed did a perfect job. He was to the outside of Dean. Dean blocked. And look at Crafton in the yellow truck, sneaking by all that on the high side.
How did he avoid the sliding up to the wall 17 of David Gilliland?
That block right there that Dean threw on Creed started it. It was just too late.
Just got him a little bit loose there. Caught the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Watch the 17. Barely avoids hitting the 88 of Matt Crafton.
And we mentioned every time there's a caution, Crafton just moves up another spot or two, and he has done that again.
Watch this block here by Dean. Right there, moves up in front of Creed. Creed still had some room to go higher, but stood his ground, and it turned Dean around.
And how does Crafton, he does take a little bit of contact, very little, but so he's going to probably have a little bit of left front damage, but considering what everybody else has got on their trucks, it's going to be minimal.
Vince, I think he might have gotten to the outside wall as well. Yeah, Ben Rhodes just along for the ride, out in the lead, a truck length and a half clear of the second place truck. There was a little bit of contact to the outside wall for the 88 of Crafton. You see Joe Nemechek slide now through the grass. There's a 45, Ross Chastain. Haven't talked a whole lot about Ross Chastain today, but he's in position right now for a good finish other than that little slide through the grass.
And there's David Gilliland. He's coming to pit road. It started on lap 1 for David Gilliland. Ran over some debris, flat left front tire, had to come to pit road.
We've seen more fires tonight than we have in a long time.
Come dragging those trucks in on the frame. You got oil lines down there that give way, and that's what causes those fires. I guess Gilliland was trying to nurse it around on probably a flat tire to get to the finish, and she went up in flames on him.
If you could stay on the lead lap here in this race, I mean, you're pretty close to a top 10 finish.
And there's Stuart Friesen, who had been scored in second place. Hermie is there.
Yeah, Vince, Trip Bruce wanted to make sure that the race was not going to be over and that it was going into NASCAR overtime, which we are. So a lot of damage to really the entire truck, but working on the right front area now. They're going to try to get tires on the right side, then come around, and even more damage than that probably on the left front fender as well. So they'll have to just salvage what they can get him out there and see what they can bring home. But tough break, but this 52 team has not given up tonight.
Several incidents for Stuart Friesen tonight, and being able to avoid as much contact as possible, but more damage for Friesen. And Ben Rhodes on the hook. Hey, coming up next here on FS1, NASCAR presents The Adventures of Janet Guthrie. Man, how many barriers Janet broke, huh? The first woman to start a Daytona 500. And not just in NASCAR, but in IndyCar and the Indy 500 as well. And she has paved the way for so many.
I think I remember having the top 10 finish in the Indy 500 one time.
I just remember that Kelly girl, number 68, here at Daytona. As a young man, just loved watching the race cars and loved, like Ben said, the barriers she was able to break down and come racing in NASCAR.
Yeah, that was an era before power steering and air conditioning and things like that, and she was able to make it happen.
Austin Hill is our leader.
She out of breath.
Oh no, Clay Greenfield's driving blind. Those guys that are worried about fuel, they don't need any more delays. We got to get this race restarted.
Yeah, I don't think this will necessitate a caution.
No.
Clay's actually almost at pit road now.
They'll get that hood down and be able to.
Oh, he's driving through the grass. He's not sure where he is. He can't see because the hood is up on the windshield.
Spotter Andy Houston saying, go over to the left a little. A little more.
Greenfield made it back on pit road.
Those are some brave crew members jumping out there in front of that truck without Clay being able to see. Field's coming off turn 4, coming toward the green flag.
NASCAR overtime with Austin Hill on the inside, the control vehicle. Matt Crafton on the outside in the 88.
Who will provide the push?
The second row may be the most important right here.
Overtime at Daytona.
Spencer Boyd spun his tires severely. No help for our front two.
Either one of them has any help.
Crafton nudging ahead. Hill coming back on the inside.
3 wide behind him.
Crafton gets in behind Hill now.
Those are teammates up on the high side. Timothy Peters, Ross Chastain.
Contact and another crash, and this one involves Gerhardt in the 63. And the caution is back out.
Oh, man.
Hold on to it. Hold the brake. Hold the brake.
Well, those teams that were short on fuel are hoping they could make it. They didn't want any more laps, no more caution laps. We're going to get them.
We've had an excess of 20 caution laps since those drivers pitted back on lap number 60.
Austin Wayne Self involved with Gerhardt. And we'll rack them up and do it again.
That's not what Junior Joyner wanted to see.
Or Scott Zipadelli.
And there's Zipadelli there. What do you do, Phil? Do you just run them till they run out of gas? Or do you come to pit road and top off knowing there's so few trucks in the race?
Boyd, by the way, Boyd and Rayom each have an extra 7 or 8 laps of fuel in their trucks, and they are the drivers that will be starting in the second row as Crafton and Hill pitted on lap 60.
See a little bit of contact at 22 of Austin Wynn himself. Got into the back of the 63 of Bobby Gerhardt. Takes both of those trucks into the outside wall. Yeah, Junior Jonas said yet another caution flag.
So if Crafton and Hill, who are going to restart on the front row and are dangerously close to running out of gas, is that going to set up Spencer Boyd or Josh Rayom for their first career win?
That could propel them to the front.
Here's what's left of Stuart Friesen's vehicle.
I'll tell you, the busiest place in North Carolina on Monday for these truckers is going to be Stock Car Steel that our buddy Greg Fridelli owns. Everybody in town's going to need some new sheet metal.
They'll be lined up.
Jamie?
Well, I was listening in, Austin Hill talking to Zipadelli on the radio. He said he wants to go for it. How close are you on fuel? This is a whole new game this season.
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. Depends on how much he's been saving. We were just recalculating here. We've only gone 18 laps on green. This is a new fuel injected system. We haven't raced at Daytona before, so I'm not sure how much we're saving, but my estimates were pretty close.
I like the little bit of confidence I see in that smile. Did you guys see that?
I don't know. I just see it.
He's a good actor.
He's in a great position if he doesn't run out of fuel.
Austin Hill, he's the crew chief, of course, for that 16 truck. Scott Zipadelli, the crew chief for that 16 truck.
Where's Grant Enfinger been for the last hour or so? Because he surfaced inside the top 5.
5th. Ross Chastain, keep an eye on that 45 truck. He has a teammate, Timothy Peters, the 44, both from Nice Motorsports behind him.
The second run at overtime. Austin Hill inside, Matt Crafton outside.
A lot better job by Spencer Boyd that time.
Hill gets a good jump.
Here comes Ross Chastain in that 45. A push from Enfinger to the back of Crafton.
Enfinger and Crafton, ThorSport teammates, now teaming up on the outside.
Remember, they can't lock on now, Vince.
Austin Hill doesn't have any help there at the front. Hill tries to block Crafton. Crafton gets into the back of him. Great job by Austin Hill to block.
And here comes Enfinger to the inside of Crafton.
That's Ross Chastain coming up inside of Crafton now and into the backside of Enfinger to give him a little help.
Justine also right there in 4th.
I think Crafton might be running out of gas. He's falling off the pace, maybe sputtering a bit.
Austin Hill coming around to take the white flag.
The next flag will end it.
Caution or checkers, whichever it is, will end the race, and Austin Hill is your leader. Through turn 1, Grant Enfinger in 2nd, Ross Chastain 3rd, Spencer Boyd 4th. Crafton has fallen off a bit in 5th, but going to try to make one last run.
A couple real experienced drivers right now in 2nd and 3rd, and Enfinger and Chastain.
When do they make the move? Headed towards turn 3.
Crafton's rebounded. He goes high.
Enfinger taking a peek. Hill holding him back through turn 4, coming to the tri-oval. Austin Hill holding off Grant Enfinger. Austin Hill in the 16 will win his first career race, and he does it at Daytona.
That was impressive. Wow, he blocked every move, Vince.
Taking the seat of the champion.
You guys are awesome. Awesome job, boys. So proud of you, man. Scotty, thank you so much, man. This thing was fucking awesome.
Apologize for that language and just the thrill that Austin Hill is feeling tonight. But the
Congratulations, fellow competitor Ross Chastain. Those guys know what a job Austin Hill did there. There were big runs at him, but he was able to put his truck in the right spot at the right time every second.
All night long, look how straight that truck is. Probably the only straight truck left on the track. We only had 10 of them left on the track anyway.
You know, when he took over for Brett Moffitt with this championship team, and you ask what the expectations were, he wasn't one to come right out and say, we're going to, you know, we expect to win this race. I mean, he's very realistic about what he was going to be able to do with this team. They thought they could win races during the course of the year, but he was going to ease into it, and he has certainly taken it to the highest level tonight.
Look at that run that he had to withstand right there. That was a great push by Ross Chastain on the Grant Enfinger. Austin, working with his spotter, just went right where Grant Enfinger was.
And then he still had to make one more great block right there off turn 4, and when he did that, he was home free.
What a way to start the season. Austin Hill wins it, and it was a thriller tonight. It was exciting at the end of stage 1, and we about had to revive Michael at the end of stage 2, and it didn't let us down in stage 3.
Austin's a big old boy.
Yes, he is.
He's not just going to pop right out of that thing like some of those kids do, but look at this. It's the best feeling in the world.
Wow.
The win at Daytona.
His wife, Ashlyn, and his 2 children are here. They're going to enjoy this with him.
You know, we talked at the beginning of the show about, yeah, you clinch a playoff spot with a win, you get your season off to a great start. You guys said, but man, it's Daytona, and that's what he's experiencing right now. Huh?
That's exactly right, Vince. But all you said happens too. He does make the playoffs.
You know, when that comes to you tomorrow afternoon sometime, you're like, hey, I'm in the playoffs now. but I've got a Daytona trophy, more importantly.
What a thrill. Austin Hill, the winner at Daytona. How great it feels to be a winner. Austin Hill victorious in the season opener of the Gander Outdoors Truck Series here at Daytona.
The thrill of victory.
And the other side of it, the agony that comes with coming up short. Alan Cabanas with Matt Crafton.
And we just saw the frustration from Matt Crafton. What more did you need in that final lap?
The outside lane just didn't really have anybody in it, and we took off, and I gapped them. They said by 3 on that, and I couldn't go by myself. Just so damn aggravating. Just because I thought we were gonna have a shot at the restart before that. Whenever I tucked down right behind the 16, and I thought that was the position we needed to be in, and the yellow came out again. I needed to be able to be second right there, and I just got shuffled out. Grant gave me a great shove, and then we kind of separated at that point. We tried to turn under the 16 and got me sideways a little bit down the back straight. I guess top 5's all right. At the end of the day, I'm just usually terrible at these places. I have the worst luck. But all in all, it's been hard for F-150, and we were there at the end of the day and got some points.
Top 5 and a little frustration, Hermie.
Well, Grant Enfinger with about 30 laps to go. You were 2 laps down, 20th position. What a battle for your team. What does it say about the momentum you guys wanted to carry from Homestead into this 2019 season?
I feel like we did just that. You know, we had a good practice yesterday, which is an important part of the deal. We showed up with good speed in our Champion Power Equipment Ford F-150. And, we made it interesting there at the end. We fought back from a couple laps down. Had a good run trying to push Crafton. I felt like we could have got around them, but 16 just threw some big-time blocks. I was going to wreck him if I stayed with him. And then, he just got away from us there at the end. Just a tough race, but proud of everybody behind me here that fought for this second place.
Let's go over to Jamie, who's in victory lane.
And it is the number 16 with Austin Hill now climbing out of this Toyota Tundra. The whole HRE team is here to shower him in Gatorade. Look at that. No better feeling in motorsports. He's going to jump off here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. There we go. 51 starts. His best finish so far had been 5th. Big celebrations, big hugs all around, getting over to Scott Zipadelli, his crew chief. Austin, you said that. There you go. Hug your wife. Oh, look at the baby there. Listen, you said that this was a chance of a lifetime for you. You just won at Daytona. What did you prove tonight?
Oh, man. First off, I got to thank Chiba Toyo Pet for coming on board. Toyota, TRD, Shiggy, Scott, Gricci, the whole guys. Gander Outdoors, first race with Gander Outdoors. How cool is that? But, man, this truck was fast. It really was. I knew we had a truck that could compete. Got a little scarce there at the end. I thought that the 98 was going to get me. He had a big run, but we were able to protect it. I can't believe that my first win came at Daytona. It's so surreal, and I can't wait to party with these guys.
I was listening in on the radio. We're talking about saving fuel. You said, I think I've been doing it. I think I've got it. What level of confidence did you have in that ability?
I didn't have any confidence, to be honest with you. Man, we pitted really early, and we already knew it was going to be close. And then when we went overtime, man, I was so scared. I just knew I was going to run off coming off a 4 and not make it to the line. So much stuff was going through my head, but hey, we're here in victory lane.
You did it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
The average starting position of the previous 19 winners here at Daytona, 9.9. You know where he started tonight? 10th.
That's pretty close to average.